That ending though. Sons of Anarchy, Season 6, Episode 5. Yo, if you have not seen Episode 5 yet, go watch that. If y'all have, y'all know what I'm talking about. Man, this episode, once again, yo. Yo. Just yo. Starting off with this review, I gotta say, now, normally I almost every review, I've almost said something about the music, but I haven't, just because, different reasons. But this time I have got to say something about that opening song. It was perfect for the mood, for that atmosphere. Now, SOA does a phenomenal job, does a great job of its selection of music. Every song's almost always perfect for the setting that it's played for. You know, the soundtrack, excellent. But this time, man, I had to know, perfect. I mean, starting off, it was a serious, somber setting. Even though action, in anticipation of action. So all that was great. So great job, SOA. Gotta give you that. Gotta give you mad props. Now, moving on. We start this episode out as Jax, there's three groups that are staking out three different spots of to look for Galen and Colin, I believe his name was. And they eventually get a hit on one thing in the morning. It was actually at Jack's spot, I believe. He noticed. And you could see how serious he's taking this situation as a leader. And then we also see on the other end the hang-arounds, the prospects, the old ladies, and the families are all in the clubhouse on lockdown for their protection. So there's that, we see we feel the gravity of the situation. And Jax goes in. They go in SOA style, but Jax really goes in. Now, and yo, I gotta say this. There was, I've seen a couple comments along the last few years that'll say statements like Jax is more of a, skater boy kind of thing, not a biker. But Jax Teller in this episode just totally debunked all that. Yo, the way, his hairstyle, his facial hair, his whole persona, his whole personality, the vibes he gives off, you can't say he's not outlaw. You just can't say it. I mean, shoot, just when he gets in that state, that controlled rage state, there's nobody stopping him. And I love it. I personally love it. And also we see, y'all remember that in previous reviews, I had talked about, namely in my combination review of episodes 3 and 4, I had talked about Tara and the mystery. Well, some of that mystery's been unveiled. And we see that she's trying to orchestrate a plan to make sure her sons are safe. Because she's really fearing that she'll either end up in jail or prison because of this charge she has, okay? And she's even relying on the old rival Wendy, okay? And I really like this. I really like this dynamic of old rivals coming together. I really like that. Even Gemma and Wendy. And what we see there with Gemma is she's harkening back, she's highlighting. And I'm loving this because we never really got to see what happened in the past, so to say. Gemma is highlighting how it used to be before the show, meaning not too many years. Remember, SOA began when Wendy was pretty much out of the picture. Not completely, but she was pretty much out of the picture. Her and Jax, I believe, had already divorced. They already had their son. She had already become a junkie. And Jim is talking about what it was like, how Wendy was before she was a junkie. So I appreciated that a lot. Also, Unser. I love when Wayne Unser comes in to play more seriously, when he plays a more prominent role. As far as in his entirety of the character, why I like him, that's another video topic for another day, another discussion. But in this case, you know, he offers his help to Tara, and Tara's like, yeah, I could use your help. And, you know, Unser's like, you know, I need you to give me all the facts. I need the trust. You know, I need your kind of trust. So I like that. You know, he'll play more of a major role down the line. Not right now. He's still a minor player, but I love when he's involved with the club. And this time it's more with Tara, but still. Moving on. We see that, you know, Nero, just a G. Truly a G. We already know he's OG, but he truly showed his G side when in his conversation with Lieutenant Eli Roosevelt, you know, Black Cop. And so Roosevelt, I feel for Roosevelt. He's put into a bind once again because he doesn't want to mess with Sam Crow. He knows, even though he doesn't agree with Sam Crow, he knows Sam Crow keeps the balance in everything, okay, in Northern Cali. And without Sam Crow, it's not gonna be good and beautiful. It's not. And that being said, he's getting pressed by this DA. You remember what I said, black lady with the weave and all that, Oprah looking self? Yeah, her. Her. And she's like, you know, she's pushing him. We'll see where that goes. You know, she's not as big a threat as was Marshall Toreg, you know, ex-Marshall Toreg, but she's still a threat. So we'll see what happens there. Roosevelt, you know, we see what happens when you follow the Stockton, and then we see once again reintroduction of the gangster ex-cop, you know. And it was nice to see him butting heads with Jax, two alpha males going at it, but they do have a mutual understanding. Although ex-cop does not totally trust Jax, he thinks, you know, he doesn't trust them. It seems like this is another common theme with the old generation of leaders not trusting the new generation. Besides Nero. But Nero's a little bit different. But I really like what I've seen in this episode. You know, I hinted back in the episode 4 review how Nero, his character, you know, he's having a lot of questions. He's trying to figure out his future, you know. Does he want to go one way or another? Does he want to, you know, get out of life, be in life? Y'all feel what I'm saying. And so it's reminiscent and reminds me of how Jax was in season 4, I believe that was the season. Moving on, we have also, man, I have to bring this up. Man. Gemma, you know, this is one of the time once again where Gemma's not being despicable. She wasn't doing towards winning. I wish she would be more like that instead of doing her shady stuff. But Gemma, I feel for her once again. You know, that whole thing that happened when she went to see Clay and whatnot, just so messed up. If and when Jax finds out, because remember, Nero knows as well. If and when Jax finds this kind of information, all I can say, he finds out the dudes who did it, you know, who orchestrated that whole thing. Do y'all remember season 2 when Gemma got raped? Y'all remember the dudes who did it? Yeah, it didn't end up for them. It didn't end up well for them. So we'll see where that goes. You know, we got important information from Clay. You know, what else more needs to be said than that ending? The ending, man. Like, you can't establish. There's nothing more to say but that it was a declaration of war. Period. It's a declaration of war. Now we see, you know, once again the theme. Jax actually tried to do what Chibs would. He tried. You know, of course I respect Chibs, but the theme, as I keep hitting on in pretty much every review, the old way doesn't work anymore. He tried to go with Chibs. You see what that happened. If y'all haven't seen the episode, yo, all I'm gonna name, you know, the only hints I'm gonna give, Telemaro. Now, I believe Telemaro got messed up a few seasons back. I can't remember what season, what episode. But, yo, man. All the sons, every charter, I believe might have to go at it. And I've been waiting for this the last few seasons. War. I mean, real war. And I've been thinking for some time now this season. But I haven't said it because, I've just been waiting to see how things fold out. I am convinced now. This episode, the ending especially, has convinced me that doggone, this is going to be the bloodiest season by far. This is going to be the bloodiest season as of up to date. And I will throw this in as well, that the conversation Jax had with the Kings, it was very important, because I've been waiting to see how they were going to deal, interject the racism aspect, because I know some Irish, and not everybody was like this, but I do know for a fact that certain Irishmen, and I guess in this case the IRA of the SOA verse, certain Irishmen are quite racist. They have this thing with people of color. Now, I don't know the backstory of that, but that's just the way it is for certain individuals. And I was wondering how this was going to be incorporated eventually into it. And it's been hinted at all along with Galen, but I wasn't sure if the Kings were as well. Well, Chibs confirmed that. So I thought that was excellent. I thought that was excellently done. And any more? Oh, and I gotta say this, like I said, Jack's conversation with the Kings, the way he went about getting it, doing work, how the Suns went about doing work, excellent. I feel for Phil's gone, and I don't remember the other dude's name, unfortunately. Sorry, but yeah, man, this episode. So overall, I gotta say that this was a 9.5. I give it a 9.5 out of 10. It was an amazing episode. It really was, of SOA. There's only 2 knocks I could have against the episode that would not make it perfect. Once again, I've given 3 out of 4 perfect grades for this season, and they were, number 1, how the plot, it was a bit slow. The plot progression was a bit slow. It wasn't dragging. It was just a tad bit slow. I understand the whole focus, but it was a bit slow. Number 2, where's Bobby at? What's going on with Bobby's crew and everything? We saw that, Tig was trying to say, we need to reach out to Bobby, but Jack said, no, reach out to another charter. I can't remember. I know it wasn't Tacoma this time, but it was I think another charter in Northern Cali, or maybe Oregon. I can't remember. But yeah, so let's see what's up with Bobby and them. I think, like I said, I think every charter is probably going to get involved in this war. At least I know the ones in the UK and Belfast will probably be up in there. So we'll see where it goes. Man, this season though, man. Yo, this season is just beast and off the chain and fire on all cylinders. The Unexpected one to like, comment, subscribe. Tell me y'all thoughts. I don't want it to be spoilers at the end of this video, but come on, man. That ending though. What went down in this episode? Some crazy stuff. Alright, y'all. Have a beautiful day. Peace.